Okay, go for it, Jessica.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. And like Marie said, we started out this way as just a way to get to know each other and have some icebreakers. So my questions are normally like get to know you questions, but you can ask any kind of question that you want, business related, to get to know each other. So I will go with Paul because I don't think I've met him before. And my question for Paul is, what is your favorite place to eat and why?
My favorite place to eat is my wife's home cooking. No, it actually is. But when we go out to eat, we really like to go to, we're just really casual. I'm gonna say that if you haven't tried the new Mexico Cafe in Temecula, it is fantastic. So I would say for now, that's one of my favorite places to eat.
Awesome. All right, Paul, who do you want to ask next?
Let's go with Rob Garcia. How's it going, Rob?
Good. What's the question?
Can you describe how you use humor? How do you use humor in your business?
This question.
That's a great question. So I try and I used to be a really dark writer, right? I was very sarcastic. I was kind of a little bit negative, and I realized that people do like to laugh, but they don't want you to be super negative and complaining all the time. So these days, if I write something that is complainy or I have a negative viewpoint towards something, I inject humor in it and I make it funny. Like I really try and, if I'm going to talk about something that really bothers me or is in a negative light, I try and make a joke out of it. And I really use a lot of self-depreciating humor versus being negative towards others. And that's something I had to kind of grow with. So hopefully that answers your question.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rob. Now, Dr. Rob, who do you want to ask a question?
I want to ask Rick Morgin, actually. And Rick, my question to you, did you deliberately plan that awesome background? Like looking at all your props in the background, or is that just something that kind of happened in your house?
This is a bedroom converted into my office, which we did at the beginning of the pandemic. So in trying to declutter a bit, there were a lot of things that I just wanted to place in the shelves that could fit within the background of a Zoom box. And some of it is, well, there's some books there. There's some art from my kids when they were little, like that tulip over my right shoulder. You're looking at the left. There's another ceramic in a red frame, things like that. So just me arranging stuff and getting some help from the family on, does it look okay?
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Greg, who do you want to ask?
Who am I going to ask? I will ask Jennifer Stowell, whom I've
What's your
never
question?
met before. And I guess it looks like the Salesforce Tower in the background. So I guess two parts. Are you in the Bay Area? And what is your business?
I actually took this photo from the top of the Marriott Hotel a few years ago, and I added a filter to it so it's a little bit less vibrant than it normally is, and then I turned it into a puzzle, and I sold a few of them for charity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What was the question again?
I just wanted to know a little bit about your business.
Oh, okay.
Is it
I
puzzling?
run a real estate school license
Oh.
program and training
Ah.
for new agents and brokers. And I also provide support for helping them set up their systems, mostly technology related.
Oh, very nice. But then my guess is that you don't reside in the Bay Area.
Currently, I'm not in the Bay Area. I spent the last 5 years there, and I have just been sort of a digital nomad now since the global pandemic started, and it's been great. I've been all over the place.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right. Thank you. So Jennifer, you're next.
Oh, I'm next. Okay. How about B? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do and what is your goal for 2021 and whether or not you are on track to complete it or have you completed it yet?
Oh, great question.
So B, just information for you. You have 1 minute to answer, okay?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm a business and talent manager. One of the things, one of the companies I do is I actually manage talent. Corey Clark, he's a musician. So I manage him. I handle all his business affairs. Secondarily, I own my bookkeeping service. So I have, right now I have 3 clients that I provide bookkeeping service to, and they keep me very busy with bookkeeping. So I act as liaison between them and the accountant basically prepare their books so they can, I do all their financials so they can, file the taxes at the end of the year, and I do the upkeep for their companies. And third is I just formed a foster care agency. And then essentially the goal is to become operational with the foster care agency by the end of the year.
Awesome. Okay, Honeybee, right?
Honeybee, I do go by Honeybee. So I put that was my Zoom name, but I do go by Honeybee. A lot of people call me Honeybee.
All right, Honeybee, you're next. Who's your target?
Okay, let's see. I'd like to meet everyone, but John Sime, how do you say your last name?
Simion.
Yes. Well, actually, I'd like to know more about you, what you do, and what is your end goal for the year?
So I run a technology startup called Virtual Badge. We're a software as a service company that provides digital identity, compliance, and risk services to our clients. We work in the construction, the contractor or vendor management space, and for just selling ID badges. My goal is to get my company fully funded. So hopefully by the end of this month or by next month, I'll know. So yeah, that's my goal by the end of the year, is to be fully situated with our company.
Okay, awesome. John, you're next.
Who's left?
Eddie hasn't been picked up, and I think Ken.
Eddie and okay, Ken, my question to you. What is a defining moment in your life?
Talking to you?
I'm asking you, tell me about a defining moment in your life.
Oh, I guess you didn't get that. Okay, that's fine.
Funny.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, that's okay. You're a tech guy. Tech guys don't get it. I'm a humanities guy. So the defining moment I've had many defining moments, but the most recent one was my association with Marie and with the Fire Up Connect. It's a great group, and we've been able to do a lot of special events and that kind of stuff, even though the pandemic has been around. And I'm going to really enjoy your interview that you're going to have with Steve Matley, who's our finance guy for the radio show, which is Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. So we're excited to see you in action, boss. So.
All right.
Boom.
Okay, so you're next, Ken. Who's your target? You've got Eddie and
I gotta go with Eddie. I gotta go with Eddie. Actually, yeah, why not Eddie? Yeah. Eddie. Eddie?
I think I'm here.
So the last time I talked to you, you didn't have a mission statement. It looks like you have one now. So what industry do you think you can best help utilizing the zip analyzer?
I'm actually hired some researchers for that, so that we have two options. One is go straight to the MLS, and but they don't have much money. They don't. So we're probably, according to Don and a few other people, we want to go to the brokers, because the brokers they care about data. So we go after close one broker, go to the next broker. I'm working on pivoting to the main name of the Groovy way, so you can do it the old school way or the new Groovy way, real way. So,
Well, I like your statement there. Your 1 minute
okay.
elevator speech. That's excellent.
okay. So who do we have? Lastly is Jessica. Am I right? Did we cover everybody? I think we did.
Is,
Okay.
is Jessica here?
Yes.
I don't see her, but okay. Oh, there you are. You raised your hand. Okay, so let's see. What's your second favorite animal and why?
Wow.
Second, not even first.
Not even, like, I could talk about my first all day, but
I know.
all right.
Well, I had to make you think a little. Sorry.
No, no, it's great. I can do this. I can do this. Second favorite. Okay. Well, okay, I'll answer it like this, because I don't know if I have a second favorite, but a creature that I am appreciating learning more about, even though it's not my favorite animal, is the elephant, because of how compassionate and intelligent they are, and how they look out for each other in their herds, and when there's injured other elephants and just all kinds of stuff. They're very community centric, and although they're not my favorite animal, I do appreciate what they represent for others who are their favorite. And I'm also very community centric, so it's kind of nice to find your herd, I guess, quote unquote, pun intended, whatever.
Awesome.
Short and sweet. And then I can ask, and then I get to ask, wait, no. I was going to say I get to ask Marie a question, but I already asked.
No, I am exempt from this.
Oh, are you?
Well,
All right.
today, so, I have a lot of time to talk. So, okay. So today our topic is about the ins and outs of content marketing. All right. And I'm sure you guys, especially a lot of this are an expert. Dr. Rob, I know, is definitely an expert on this topic, but I wanted to just talk about this for 7 minutes. So talking about quality content, when you have to set up your inbound marketing campaign, you're talking about social media, your blogs, your email campaign, incorporating your employees, how to create articles, and how to also get positive business reviews. So these are some of the quality contents that you need to have in your business. Now, I know that most of you probably would, have people assigned to do the social media. And I don't know if you guys are writers. If you are writers, you definitely are tapping into your blogging and your email campaign. Now, as an expert, you really need to be writing your own articles. So who's writing your own articles here? I know Dr. Rob will raise his hand. Who else is writing their own articles? Okay, so everybody is doing that. Now, how many times do you put out information on social media per week? John, I can't hear you. Are you saying 10?
Yeah,
10
twice a day.
twice a day?
Well, I guess 14 times a week. So twice a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, twice a day, 7 days a week, so 14 times a week. And what about you, Rick? Who else? Rick, you're on mute. How many?
It can be twice a day, it can be 3 times a day,
Okay,
depending
so
on,
who else?
on our calendar of events.
Okay. Who else? How many times? Jessica, you said you do your writing.
I do, but I haven't been consistently lately, so I can't.
And so let's ask Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob, how many times you do yours?
I vary between 2 and 4. I like Jess, I haven't been consistent lately. I'm working on the magazine, a couple other projects, but on a good day, if I'm being deliberate, 4 to 6. And you can set up a schedule pretty easy. In chat, I just posted like how to make a DIY for your social media stuff, because too many people get on without an objective in mind. And every post you do, you should be able to look at and immediately know what category it falls into. If you guys got any questions about any of those, just ask.
Yes, so that's a good information there. And as you know, that every time you post anything on social media, if somebody makes comments, that actually spreads out and it creates your own viral through social media. Now, let's talk about quality versus quantity. You're saying that you post, like you, John, 14 times a week. Now, obviously, you're taking care of the quantity there. What about the quality? What kind of content do you put out there? Is it a lot of photos, or is it a lot of articles? What is it?
I try to post one industry related article.
Whose phone was that?
I try to post one industry related article a day, and then I try to post one article that either informs about my product, is a story about how someone used our product, or like, I guess just like kind of an advertisement about the value proposition.
Okay, so we're talking about you're providing a lot of valuable writings. Is that what you're saying, John?
I mean, if it was truly valuable writing, I would be really rich, and I'm not.
Okay, well, that's a good indication. But at the same time, are you putting a lot of photos too? Because pictures is worth 1,000 words. You know that, right? So we need to also incorporate pictures. So make sure that you are connected to if you have a good camera, and if you are good with the lighting and how you can create those photos, that'll be great. If not, connect with a professional photographer. Now, two things that I want you to understand, that when you're posting any social media content in there, make sure that you have an enticing headline. I think Dr. Rob is very good at that, because I see some of his posts and he's got this really, very, attention grabber title. So make sure that you have a very good enticing headline. Now, Jennifer, with you, because you are in the real estate deal, do you do a lot of, how do you work on your posting on social media?
Yeah, so initially I was posting once a week at least, just to have a presence on the various platforms. And then I found it much more effective to just do ads, specific non-public ads that specifically target who I'd like to reach. So that way I can control the audience a little bit better. I think with platforms like Facebook, it really helps with the comments when someone buys your deal and then they come back and say, yes, this was legitimate. Yes, I was the winner of this $100 gift card, and it reinforces the credibility of the promotion. So, and then I also like that it doesn't give my competitors too much information about what it is I'm doing on social media.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. And I know B is a celebrity agent. And B, do you do a lot of article posting too?
What was the last part, Marie?
Do you do a lot of article posting on social media?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't do much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So, and the last thing I wanted to make sure that if you're posting social media content, make sure that you have proper grammar. And
Right.
I am one of those people that I'm not really good in checking my grammar. So if you have someone who can help you write the articles, definitely take advantage of that. And so let me ask you this question. What do you think about radio show? Is radio show an in or an out? Raise your hand if it's in. Raise your hand if it's out.
I'm still
Out.
processing the question.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I
What do you mean by the question?
Okay, so the radio show, do you think it's still effective as a good marketing program? Radio show? Question for
Yes, I do.
okay. And anybody else? What do you guys
Is it
think?
is it internet radio or just like FM radio?
It will be
Don't forget AM.
both. Both.
I mean, with your previous question linking to this question, promote being strategic with the kinds of promotional posts that you're talking about is effective. So it does also depend on like consistency, time of day, who your audience is, and there's like strategy stuff to it. But as far as like the quickest path for visibility, that just like Clubhouse is also becoming one of those platforms. Yeah, I would say radio, podcasts, your voice. Someone quoted this recently about your voice is kind of your new business card and how it's gonna open up opportunities for you.
Okay. So the way I look at radio show is for a lot of people, they think that it's not good. And for other people, they think it's good because it just depends on the way they target their audience. So this is where you really need to understand where your target market is really hanging out. You know, if they are mostly people that are, driving, they're on the road, or they're people that are always, like more of um, the older generation that are really in tune in listening to the radio, then that might be a good, format for you. But if and understand that the radio show is also evolving because now radio shows are connected to a lot of podcasts. They're also incorporating podcasts, and they're also incorporating the YouTube and other sites. The good thing about radio show is they're affiliated with a lot of big names. Like for example, the radio show that we have, it's affiliated to CNBC, to NBC News, and NBC Sports. And imagine the kind of resources they have for being affiliated with them. We are also affiliated to iHeart and to Spotify. So all the links that are where you would see podcasts, the radio show is also linked to those. So if you look at the entire or the total number of visitors for the radio show that we have because of the connection, it's a 1.2 million visitors. And then outside of that, they have FM stations and they have AM station where they are also connected to a lot of big time shows. Dave Ramsey was in one of the FM shows of KCAA, so he's drawing a lot of people in the station. So you think about those kind of connections that you can get into a radio show, and how you're able to tap into their audience too. So that's something about the radio show. You have to think different about it right now because it's not just the radio show, it's also the connections that they have built around that they are connected to. And you need to understand the value of that connection. The affiliation with CNBC and NBC News and Sports is huge. That alone is a big asset when you're talking about radio show. Now let's talk about magazine. I know Dr. Rob has its own magazine. What do you magazine? Is it an in or out? Raise your hand if it's in. Okay, and raise your hand if it's out. And okay, and tell me why if it's out. Who said out? Okay, so everybody agreed that it is a good thing to be on magazine. And the reason why magazine is still a good thing for everybody is all about the branding. understand that you still have to make sure that you are branded. And Dr. Rob can actually give you more information on why magazine is really important for his business, because of how he brands a lot of people in his business. So Dr. Rob, can you give us a little points on why you use magazine for your business?
Yeah, so I feel like people gravitate to the media platform that's most in tune with their personality and their aptitude, right? So I write a lot, and I just figured, okay, I'm going to start a magazine 4 years ago. The barriers for entry are a lot lower than they used to be, and with the digital format, you don't have to have like publishing, print fees, anything like that, any mailers. It's very convenient, and so I started Shift, and it started evolving over the last like 4 years. I've interviewed Scott Oldford, Steve Sims, Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, like, real slackers over there. But it's been a good journey, and I feel like more people should embrace magazines as a revenue source or start one. It's not as hard as you might think, and it can be a good profit generator if you do focus on the branding, like Marie was saying, and if you do really focus on interviewing. Try to interview the most famous people you can find once in a while to kind of have balance, and then just set up your revenue streams.
Okay. All right. So since I'm over with my time, I wanted to continue our conversation for our next week's meeting, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Any questions on whatever we have discussed? No? Okay. Jessica, you have a question?
Well, not a question, just I'm a natural connector, so I'm just trying to bridge missing things with the time of like, I want to be able to give a value add and something thoughtful with what you're describing as we think about our own marketing and moving forward with how we want to promote ourselves and what's the best way to do that. It's nice to know that there are options as far as like free versus paid advertising. You were mentioning other ways to promote with like email and things like that. But the biggest thing I think is the power of connection that we have, especially with Fire Up Connect and meeting together. It becomes this thing where it really is quality, like you were saying, about the quality of who you know, who you're aligning with when you share your posts and comments, communities that you're involved in, and some of this traction and visibility becomes a natural congruent thing. And it doesn't have to be like, this could be a stress thing for someone like me where I'm like, oh, I have all those strengths, but I'm not consistent. But it's kind of like echoing to what can we start today? Like we may not have been some other priorities, but there's things we can start today and an opportunity to get to know each other today with.
Well, the good thing about it, Jessica, is that you know that you have to look at every marketing program in a different way, because some people think very traditional what a radio show is, but they have to really understand the business around that program, that it's not just about the radio show, it's about the business that they have incorporated. And that's what I want to make sure that you understand that part when it comes to the radio show. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the TV show and the book publication. What are the power of using those things? And I know Jennifer is actually publishing her book soon here, and that's actually exciting to see that. I know Eddie also published a book for his business, and if you guys are thinking about publishing a book, definitely we can all work that together. So since we are pressed on time, I'm going to move on to our next part of our meeting, which is what we call the business share time. This is where you have 1 minute to share either your success story or a challenge that you're dealing with, and a specific goal that you have for this year. Make sure that when you share your challenge, the people that are listening provide your input through the chat, and make sure that they get your recommendation because we're here to help each other. So if, let's say, someone is saying, oh, I need 3 clients this month now, and he's explaining in 1 minute, you got to be able to go direct to the point and let them know what your challenge is, so people can provide recommendations. And on a specific goal, make sure that you have a time frame of completion, because if you're going to say, okay, I want to make $1 million and that's it, No time frame. You know, you have to say, okay, I want to make $1 million in 3 months. So be sure to provide that, so people are going to be more attentive about helping you in reaching your goals. So we're going to start with, I'm going to go ahead and start with Rick. Rick.
So either a success story or a challenge?
Challenge or a specific goal, any of those three.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a client who is very close to closing it. We're very close to closing a deal on him becoming a franchise owner. We had his business partner. And one of the last steps or hurdles is being able to finance the purchase of the equipment that are part of the franchise company. And I was able to provide him with a number of referrals. So he'll have options to entertain the purchase finance of the equipment, which is heavy equipment. And then we can move into the closure of the deal. So I anticipate it being done next week.
Okay, well, that's great story, Rick. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's go to Dr. Rob.
I guess I have a win to share. I was featured in Eddie's magazine by Christine Walker. So they did a feature on a bunch of different veterans, and they talked about my story going from being a high school and college dropout to PhD. It was very well received, and I'm up for another magazine interview pretty soon. So always keep your eye open for interviews. It's a great way to advance your proof of concept credibility.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Jessica.
I would say I've been intentional with some events to be a part of, and we all know events can be a lot of time to dedicate, but I'm finding that my willingness to stay invested in certain spaces is paying off, because the more visible you are in the right ways that are right for your business, right where you're going, the faster you can kind of leapfrog through different dry spells with like clients and different things you're working through. So it's encouraging that I can find small wins, and it's fostering the stability that I've been working towards.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Ken.
Oh, I'm excited. My biggest challenge is integrating live streaming with radio broadcasting. It's kind of like AM into DC, you know, AC into DC, and so we're trying to work on that so that we can actually do that. However, a big win, we're launching the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show on live at the radio station on June 27th. Starring Marie and Kim. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
and
right?
Yeah, and I'm really excited about, I need to get a hold of Dr. Rob now, because I got to have Steve interview him. So
awesome. All right, thank you. Now, John, you're next.
Okay, so for me, there's two things that I'm trying to get done by the end of the week. So the first one is that the Florida seed funders who we're in due diligence with said they'd give us the definitive answer by the end of the week. So I'll know if we're funded or not. And two, I'm trying to close the biggest deal of the year by the end of the week. And like, I think that they're going to sign by Friday based off of our conversation today and me having to lower the price a little bit.
Whoa, that's awesome, John. Okay, cool. All right, let's go to B. Honeybee.
All right. Well, one of the biggest goal I have for right now is launching my show Honey and the Bee, which I will be starring. And the show will consist of current events, which will surround topics like lifestyle, music, entertainment. And, you know, also I will incorporate a cooking segment in the show that I will introduce Filipino culture. And I will have special guests come and cook with me. So we are hoping to launch the Honey and the Bee show by the end of this month, which will be on Roku television.
Awesome.
So that is one of my biggest goals.
Awesome. That is awesome, honey. Okay. Next, Jennifer.
I suppose right now, with so much of my work being looking at screens constantly, and the type of stress that puts on your eyes and your body for usually sitting for a really long period of time, I'm just trying to adjust, because I started shifting more to doing more work than usual, and I need to find a new balance between just making sure I get activity level my activity level up as well.
Okay. Awesome. That's good. It's good that you're recognizing that. Okay. Eddie.
So my biggest challenge right now is we're redoing our technology. There's a company called Top Hat. This is probably 101 from film school. There is no such thing as creativity. Creativity comes from taking the best of the best. And we're going to take the best of the best of our competition and add our technology with real time, so then every realtor can have our technology on their website. Sounds simple, but that's going to take me another 2 weeks to put together.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Paul.
Yes, I have a combination. I'll call it the combo. There's a challenge because the United States is experiencing a very big deficit when it comes to lumber and foam. And I'm in the furniture industry, and we make a lot of custom sofas, especially leather. And so the challenge is I've placed a lot of orders. How do I explain to the customer that instead of taking 4 to 6 weeks to make them something, they have to now wait 6 months for an item, or 7 months for an item?
6 months?
And so at least 6 months. There's a foam shortage, and believe it or not, the freeze in Texas and the chemicals and petroleum that was used has backed not only the furniture industry, but also the automobile industry. Anything, you don't realize how much foam you use until you start looking. You sleep on foam, you sit on foam. Okay, there's a lot of things that foam is used for. And so all these orders, that's a big challenge, because now I have to call my customers up, and I'm going to call it save the sale, if you will. So I have to strategize, and I make a list pre-hand, and I have to strategize on what's the best way for me to present this challenge to them without having to cancel an order that is part of our livelihood. And the success story is I've made a list of all my clients, and luckily for us, we built a good rapport with them. And has it been easy? No, it's been a challenge, but thankfully, the success story is that we've been able to save 90% of the orders.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I think we're good. I got everybody, right? All right. So that is our business share. Any comments and feedback on what you guys heard?
I put a link in the chat. It's a big event out of network. If anybody's interested, it could be free, whatever, but thought I'd let you know.
All right. Well, this is also the good time for you to put in your information. So if everybody wants to get a hold of you, they can see it. So go ahead and take the time to put that in there. All right. And then, so the last part of our meeting, what I would like to actually do a brainstorming of a project that we could start. I know that everybody has a lot of projects, but for the Fire Up Connect, we've done a lot of events like Halloween for Heroes. We did Turkeys for Troops, Aging Gracefully, and I believe that I'm working on a Fire Up Live seminar, which I'm planning to do it. I was hoping to do it November, but the theater is now booked all year long. And next year, is they couldn't even commit to me that I could do it in January. So I had to get another venue for the Fire Up Live seminar. So that is more the main event for the Fire Up Live, for the Fire Up Connect. But for you guys, if you wanted to do something, you know, if you have an idea of what you wanted to do as an event that you can all work on together, you can throw those ideas right now if you want. I know Ken is planning to do some cooking competition for the radio show, and I don't know if anyone else is thinking of any kind of project that you can share to the group. So I'm going to open that discussion. I know B is busy with her also doing her own launching, but I think there's a lot of connection synergy for you and Ken because of the radio show. So you definitely want to connect with Ken for that, and also with Dr. Rob because of the celebrity connection. Now, so anybody who wants to throw any event ideas, this is the time to do it.
Event ideas. Well, something I'm not sure yet with some things that Marie is structuring with Fire Up Connect and other days and times of hosting meetings like this, but it could also lead to a clubhouse dedicated for more connection and other opportunities that way, and a hybrid of in-person and live. I know that's what we talked about last.
Oh, yeah, what's that? And by the way, in connection to that, Jessica, I did talk to somebody who has a club membership with the winery, and we can actually have a private meeting in that winery here in Temecula, and have you guys do live streaming. So so that's one location that we could do, and actually we could do it in different location. Now, Paul, you have a furniture store, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that might be a good place also for us to do a Fire Up Connect meeting, so they can do some sightseeing of your furniture store.
You
Any other
bet.
ideas? So Jessica, continue what you were saying.
Well, it's just leading to your intentions with what you want to create with Fire Up Connect, and as we reintegrate into what life is now, and for new people who this is their first meeting, I'm trying to articulate things. I just think there's a lot of opportunity where we can foster more connection outside of this meeting, because it is so efficient and strategic for like the purpose of this meeting. But for those wanting to find more ways to co-collaborate on things and also use these meetings strategically and efficiently, there's ways we can keep co-creating that with moving some of these conversations forward in a more like fun setting. And it could be a clubhouse, it could be starting a clubhouse, it could be virtual field trips or in-person field trips, or just, you know, more community-centric type stuff. But I guess I just voice this because I don't want people to feel like they can't have the connection that they want simply because there's just not time allowed for it. So there's opportunities to create events simply for a connection and getting to know people better.
Well, here's an idea. I think everyone here can set up some sort of an event in their location, and then we can all live stream to whatever it is. So each member will have a date to where we can do a live streaming on their location. So for example, Rick, what city are you in, Rick?
I'm in Danville.
Okay,
the
so
Bay Area.
would you consider doing, you know, invite all your friends or your business connection, and then have a live stream of the Fire Up Connect to the people that are in your event?
Sure.
Okay, and same thing. I'm gonna be honest, Dr. Rob. I mean, yeah, Dr. Rob. What about you? You have a nice restaurant, nice place at your. So is that
virtual wine and cheese? Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably go back to wine and cheese parties and business mixers in September. I have a trip to Korea under my belt, a few other things, but definitely want to start getting social again once I get my second vaccination.
Okay. I actually attended last weekend an event where we were about maybe 15 people. And then and we have this camera face on us, and there were people logging in and watching us. So, but this one is, I would like to see highlight people to where, okay, we're all watching. Let's say, for example, Rick has an event in his place and we're all watching, and then he does a little presentation, which is part of our meeting, and presenting it to the people that in his location and also streaming. So I think that would be a good way to really take advantage of both. Jennifer, what do you think? Especially for you, you have a school.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's keep talking about it.
Okay, all right. And Eddie, I know that you're really busy right now with your business, but is that something that you would consider later on?
It's a great way to launch, stream it on lots of social channels, get the word out. So I'd definitely be nice to have something in person instead of all virtual too. So I like the idea.
Okay. Okay. And Ken, we're having our radio show launch on June 27, right?
Correct, Mudo.
Yeah, we can have Fire Up Connect,
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
stream, and everybody can watch, or they can also attend if they wanted to go to Redlands, because that's where the radio station is. So
Correct.
yeah, so but you can guys do some live stream, and we'll have to set it up in the radio station where they can see it, right?
Now can I make another suggestion possibly?
Yes.
One of the most successful fundraisers / networking events I've ever been to was a chocolate tasting event. And, it could be run in multiple areas. It can be Danville and San Diego, and we could all do it at one time, and then film it all, and then package it as a YouTube channel that people could follow up on. And the idea is really to have, let's say, I'll just use an insurance guy as an example. Insurance guy, is at a chocolate booth and is handing out the chocolate and that kind of stuff. So the relationship between the business and the product is clear. And the reason why chocolate works, especially around February, is, guess what? It's the month of love, right? So Valentine's Day. So anyway, you might want to think about something like that. And actually, any activity that you guys have, I'm willing to support, because the bottom line is radio and events are like brother and sister. Think about iHeart, Coachella, Stagecoach. Those are all radio events, actually from radio stations. So iHeart, being the primary one. So just an idea.
Okay.
I am here for this. Send me a little kit, virtual kit, so I can participate. And I actually am really glad you said that, because, and being time integrity, I know with ending our meeting soon. Marie's heart with these meetings is not just for like an efficient, like, who are you, what do you do, but like creating a shared experience and genuinely finding a way to collaborate in some way that makes sense with what we do professionally, crossovers, having that loyalty and support. And so as we consider these hybrid events, not just like out of obligation or whatever with our memberships that we have with Fire Up Connect, but there's huge benefit with nodding back to our little brief talk about the power of your connections. All of us like are one relationship away of different people that we know by making time to get to know each other. So these shared experiences can just be a nice way to foster getting to know each other, having a shared experience of working some kind of virtual event or in-person event together, teamwork, all the kinds of stuff for that. But really, it's also like seeing what organically can come from that just by what you get to know about someone, which is what the Q&A is about with our meeting. It's like you're 1 degree away of just like beyond the stereotype, beyond the Zoom box. It's like there's real people here, and we really do want to find a way to have it so we all can win and not just be like another meeting that you go to. but really have it be an anchor in your week that you look forward to, and we could be like business fam, and
Okay.
yeah, just
All
kind of
right.
thought through it.
And that's why I like Fire Up Connect, because Fire Up Connect is going out to the public, to the community, versus a regular networking group, which is basically going from out to in. This is actually from in to out, and it has a much bigger blossom than a regular deal. Because I'm thinking, B, you're a cook, and excuse me, you're in the cooking business, and we're putting together a recipe book, and we would all obviously want Filipino recipes that would be in that book. And so that just gives one example.
Well, did you
Anyway, sorry about that. I didn't mean to talk too much.
is a good cook?
I love cooking. I'm so here for this.
That's awesome. Okay.
And we want your recipes too.
Okay. So
I make a bomb tiramisu. I'm just saying.
there you
I'm-
go.
I dare you. I dare any one of you.
Okay. Well, I've made amazing baked mussels. I mean, I don't know if you guys like mussels, but I made amazing baked mussels. Okay. I think that is awesome. We are after 4. I just want to get some last feedback. B, this is your first time. Any feedback on so far with your experience with us?
I like it. This is a new form of connecting with new people. So this is my first time. I enjoy it. It convenes from your home, but I love that, every person in here has a different business aspect, and everyone's bringing their ideas to the table. So I think that that's beneficial to all of us, that, we all can connect and have one common ground, is to eventually all of us grow and be successful, and, just go from there.
Awesome. All right. Any others feedback? No?
Oh man, I want to get involved.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Dr. Rob, you have anything to say? You were raising your hand.
No, I just want to thank you, Marie, for putting this together. The formatting is coming along really well. I like the smooth transitions, and I appreciate that you can keep us on a timeline. So good job today.
Thank you. And anyone else? Okay. All right. Well, I think I really enjoyed our meeting today. There's a lot of connections I can see. So make sure you connect. If you take your time to do a one-on-one with everybody, you'll find out more that you can do with them, because that's how I get all my collaborations and partnership, is when I go have a meeting with them, and then I ended up finding more that we could work on. So each one of you have a lot of things to offer. Just make sure that you take the time to connect with people. And next week we're going to have more people. My question to all of you, I think you've met Fatima earlier. They're reaching out to all the members right now, and whoever wants to present in our future meetings, you need to let them know, and they will be booking, and they're going to create a flyer for you to be a presenter. So make sure that you provide your answer to them, and that is more exposure. Again, we're talking about quality content, and if you are participating as a presenter, you're going to get more exposure in the social media. One last thing I would like for you to do is, before we leave or before we sign out, save the chat, and then Google your name on the internet and find out how many views do you get, or how many photos do you see yourself on internet. So do some study on your name and find out if you are visible or not.
Marie, if I can offer a fast tip on that one, make sure to Google your name and your brand name if they're two different things. Rob Garcia is the mayor of Long Beach and a bodybuilder and a boxer, but Rob the Warrior Strategist is 3 pages of this horrible face. So yeah, it's good to check your brand and your personal name.
Okay, there you go. So keep that in mind. And then on our next meeting, let us know what you found, okay, on your name. And then we will figure out what you guys can do to enhance your visibility on internet. Sounds good? Okay, and last thing, the magazine is already out on the website. Go to magazine.finestwomeninrealestate.com. We already ordered the magazine and it's going to come out in a couple of weeks here, and we will be promoting that on the real estate industry. Sounds good. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Make sure you save your chat.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.